ki Khubor ka Batesi TV rakhe ka Frank Yamaha khatn reus nam ya ga jing shakri ga jongka baden ais ngo bhasha baro kinong thi thuk thuk ringkat ka kabuk ser ban long kinong job ya santali gi laptop kani ka offer kan kot ha ka live hoteri unai lur 8000 pusau
Prangut ki senior journalist lani ginong tho Khubor kibla shakri prat live post nam haga kam Pathai Khubor hapo kani ga jilla haga ar potrik unai lur ajar posau glesha pen kuburam hom mindrang ba ga jilla ukon ra kongkel sangma haga jingalang first media meet lapin long the office directorate of information and public relation ka sarkar jilla havivanta shalong kini ki prangut ki senior journalist kibla shapen kuburam haga ni gasngi harangka ka jing sakilang jaga menteri ka khmi ikatan information and public relation ka Dr. Mazel Ambrinling do ki ken thop uba Philip Marwen ubri editor jaga magazine Youth Today Usubroto Bhattacharjee ubetre ku bureau chief jaga United News of India uba Armonak Shabong ubri editor jaga ko Khubor urupang uba Marcus M Thayang ubri editor jaga ko Khubor ba ku website Utem Umanas Chowdhury ubri editor berim jaga ko Khubor de Shillong Times Usana Chakraborty ba Kalinda Chakchok kibede ki independent journalist kinthopru Usanjeev Bhattacharjee ubulong photographer lani unongshan jaga ko Khubor de Shillong Times Umindirang ba ka jilaw bla jingkran hagani ga lempung bandingkong jinginong lum Khubor hagani ga jila Meghalaya ulapin benaru ban Arab marshilak tingka naga chief minister special grant shigani prangut ginang thok Khubor gla shapan kuburam hagani ga sngi
Social media impact is again a very important concern for us. We know that platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are reaching citizens across at a fast rate, and information is being shared not just locally but also globally. We have to get behind what are the best practices and how best can we control or even guide usage of the social media impact. I also was very happy to see that ethic considerations is one of the topic that you will be discussing. I feel that ethical responsibility is something beyond any constitutional provision. But how do you police ethical considerations? I believe that the media of this new generation will have to be ensured, we have to ensure that these young journalists conform to some ethical consideration so that we may have a media which is palatable, a media which is acceptable, and a media which will now no longer be so judgmental. I also believe that media today is beyond a business model. There is no one specific business model for the media. And I believe that media houses are slowly disappearing in this generation because of their inability to support themselves. How does the government come forward and play the balancing act? This again is something which today's program will give us an opportunity to debate and discuss. Mobile journalism, again, this is a very, very dangerous trend as we see around us. Sometimes citizens get totally shocked and flabbergasted with the kind of sharing of information on one's or from one's own private mobile. Will journalists and media persons be satisfied with this kind of a program? Because it's very, very, it is a well-known fact that the media fraternity in the state of Meghalaya is looking up to the government for bigger things. However, despite the fact that we have tried to review a lot of the benefits that we could give media persons, we thought that this would be one of the first things that we should do. Recognizing media persons who have contributed immensely to the field of media should be the first of the things that we do. Because very often when we look around us, the kind of media coverages, the kind of media persons that we see around us must know what media persons of the past were, who were they, what was the quality of their work, and what are the contributions that they have made to the community at large. I know that today we will be discussing a lot of programs, and in the presence of the Honorable Chief Minister, on behalf of the Department of IPR, sir, we want to thank you for having made this possible. We start today, sir, and we handhold the media fraternity into looking at what are the kind of things that we likely can do as a government in recognition of the good coverage, the work, the contribution that they engage in.
When we sat down together to decide on reforms, on recognition, and ways in which we could improve the overall media sector, I should say. We realized that the government, and I don't mean to judge any government, but the government in general has not done enough to recognize the contributions that have been made by our journalists, whether senior or the current fraternity of our young journalists. And that is where we felt the need to have, number one, programs like these, where we felicitate our journalists. We recognize the contributions and the work that they have done, the sacrifices they've made, the challenges they've overcome. And while we do that, we also interact and connect with our fraternity of journalists to be able to then figure out how we can move forward in the larger interest of the media fraternity and the media sector, and to ensure that the entire sector thrives, follows a certain code, is able to improve itself in terms of the given circumstances, in the technological changes that we are seeing. So all of this thought has actually brought us to this point where we felt that we need to have this kind of media meets on a regular basis. We all agree that we disagree. So that's fine. That's how healthy democracy works. And disagreeing with somebody's viewpoint or with somebody's work or somebody's policy is not anything wrong. And I'm sure most of the journalists who have interacted with me or are in touch with me personally, you will realize that for me, every criticism is a positive criticism. This is what I believe. And hence, I do want to make it clear that there is no negativity when it comes to at least the way I see things. Of course, there will be, as I said, differences. It's natural, because it is the duty of the media, the press, and everybody, in the press fraternity, to look at aspects which are important from the public interest point of view and facts that need to come out. Having said that, I think what is very crucial, apart from what you just said, what is very crucial is, as I said, the recognition part, which I've already dealt on. But I just want to also add to this, which I've just shared with our Commissioner Secretary also, that of course the felicitation was given by the department. I thank the Honourable Minister for taking the lead in it. But I also would like to give a small contribution from the Chief Minister's office, So I would like to announce that every single senior journalist who has been felicitated today from my Chief Minister's special grant, I will be giving an amount of 1 lakh rupees to each of the senior journalists who are felicitated today from Chief Minister's special grant. Apart from that, as I said, what is the larger goal? I think it's important for us to see that. And really the larger goal is to see how we are able to improve things, how we're able to adapt to the given circumstances, how we're able to grow, how we're able to train. A lot of people think that journalism is very simple, and we just have to be able to write something, but it's beyond that. There's so much of training that goes into these aspects. I would be happy to see and be able to push and promote and support different exposures and trainings for our media persons. I think it's important for you to interact with journalists from other parts of the country, maybe even other parts of the world, and really see how everything is moving in the media sector. Because as I said, because of the change in technology, things are moving very, very fast. Technology is impacting every aspect of our lives, even at a personal level, obviously. So media and the way we consume information is also changing very, very fast. So hence, I think it's very important to have continuous training, continuous exposure and updation of different aspects of journalism, I think, to our press friends. So I would urge the Shillong Press Club as well as our other organizations, you should take the lead. DIPR can take the lead. Even have a simple program for example, even how to shoot. Today we all shoot with a mobile, but we just do it the way we think is right. But how do we do it in a professional way? I think it's important to be able to have the right tools, maybe the right apps, and even the right way to shoot. So I think these are small things, but I feel that this meet should discuss on these aspects also, and I hope that we'll have more and more of training and exposure for our journalists and our press fraternity at large.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which camera to look at?